Well, before we get ready to Indy, I want to get ready to Chrissy and find out kind of what Chris has been kind of up to, and give me a little tales from the unplugged land, because I've been kind of dying to know, because as someone who can't, I'll full out admit it, I'm addicted. I can't unplug even if I wanted to. You know, the phone is constantly pulling me, the social medias, the network, news stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How do you unplug from it all, and what do you do? And how does that work?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not easy, but it's sort of like basically the drama just gets to you after a while, and you're like, you just sigh about it, because basically everyone, it's just the disorganization on everything. I think I wrote an article about it, sort of
Yeah.
explaining my feelings.
Yeah.
That I know you guys read it off, but I had a lot of issues with everything. So basically, I mean, it's not really hard. I was always the type of person that could just stop doing something. It was never like, if I smoked cigarettes, I could just stop smoking. It was always, addiction was never like a problem for me. As far as getting addicted to anything. So leaving it was sort of like just taking a breather from it. But it's like, why? But I basically turned into like George Carlin pretty much, and I've made like the conscious decision to look at everything from the outside in, to not to basically not be identified as anything. I don't want to be left. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be any sort of label or anything like that. I don't feel like, as far as you know the division tactics, I don't want to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of like, I focus like on basically on looking on things from the outside in. I don't look at, it's a very pessimistic view, because I know, like, I applaud you guys, because I know everyone in the activist space, the activist space is very, they're trying and they're doing their best. And you know it's better. Like, I consider the people, people better than me, but I look at it as like, there's it's useless. Like, you're not going to fix the system. It's too corrupt. And just going and tweeting about doing things that's never going to happen all day. More pertaining to the online left, I don't really like to focus on people that are actually going out there doing the groundwork. Like people that are going out there to protest, and people that are doing activism. It's more or less the people that are online all day, they tweet all day, they just post all day. They don't really take part in really, and then they don't take part in actively trying to change things. But I look at it as a very pessimistic sort of viewpoint, where it's just done. It's too late. Like, man, our human race just can't do it anymore, and it's sort of like being plugged back into the matrix. But no, I know what I know, and it's like, I know what's really going on, but I don't need to prove it to anybody anymore. It's sort of like, it is what it is.
Right.
So yeah, so I just look at it in that retrospect, and I just, I I didn't want to work for anyone anymore, so I left that whole situation. I started my own company, so I just basically went my own direction. But I think, you know, to me, it's just, all part of the division tactic. So I don't want to be part of that. I just look at it from the outside in. I don't, I look at society, I divorce myself from everything. So that's basically what I've done. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back to it. I don't know. But right now it's like I'm looking from the outside in on it. And I divorce myself from the human experiment. I feel,
Well,
I feel people, I don't like people in groups. I judge everyone now individually. People are great as individuals, but people get into groups, and the group think sets in, and the division tactics set in. It's just, to me, I don't believe in anymore. I'm like in that zone now. And
Problem gets
I
serious.
so I don't believe there is no left, there is no right for me. there in actuality, there is no one that is a purist. There's no one that's on the left that's going to be right about every single thing. That's going to be fully left and agree on every issue, and there's no one on the right that's going to do the same. So, it's just a thing where the system can't be changed. It's just to the point where corruption is from A to Z, and it's from the lowest levels of local government all the way up to the top levels. So, very pessimistic, but that's just, where I try to divorce myself from the whole situation.
Well, that's,
So you're telling me labels are bad?
Labels
I
are
agree.
bad. Yeah. This guy kind of signs off every show saying that. Colin is actually saying that social media has actually gotten worse since you left. So it probably would, it may
In
not
some
be
ways
healthy to come back.
Right.
But